Good morning, students. I am Dr. Ritika, the faculty of CSC department, as an associate professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. Today, I am going to deliver the lecture on the subject e-commerce. So, in this subject, we will cover the topic B2B e-commerce. So, let's start the topic. Firstly, we will cover our learning objectives like describe the B2B field, describe the major types of B2B models, and discuss the models and characteristics of these sell-side marketplace including auctions, describe the sell-side intermediaries, describe the characteristics of the buyer-side marketplace and e-procurements. Also explain how reverse auctions work in B2B, describe B2B aggregations and group purchasing model. So in this B2B, we also cover describe their procurement methods, define exchange and describe their major types. Also describe B2B portals and how they interact with our third party exchange, and how B2B can benefit for social networking and Web 2.0. And last in this slide we will cover is describe internal marketing in B2B, which includes organizational buyer behavior. So students, let's start with the concept, characteristics and models of B2B e-commerce. So what is B2B? B2B is the business to business e-commerce. It is the transactions between business conducted electronically over the internet, intranet, extranet or private network. So it is also known as electronic B2B, or you can say B2B, or you can say just B2B. So some basic types of B2B transactions and their activities related to our B2B is sell side, buyer side, exchange, supply chain improvements and their collaborative commerce. So some other is one to one or many to one. Many to one. They follows the private e-marketplace where company centric EC, which is related, or we can say which focus on a single company buyer needs. They are related to many to one or buyer side, or seller needs one to many or sell sides. So here is the type of B2B commerce. In this diagram you can understand, here is the sellers and they're related to their different buyers, and they are correlated with their different companies. In another, so it is known as sell side B2B. Now in buy side B2B, here is the buyer and here is the sellers, which are related to different companies. And third is the electronic exchange. These are the buyers and these are the sellers. They are related to their services which are exchangeable with the buyers and the sellers. And these are supply chain improvements and collaborative commerce. In this, here is the hub of manager company. They are related to their different buyers, sellers, payments, their technology providers, universities, communities, governments. So this hub of manager company related with different their collaboratives. So these are the basic type of our B2B e-commerce: sell side, buyer side, electronic exchange and their supply chain improvement and collaborative commerce. So many to many, that is public exchange, means trading communities or their trading exchange. In many to many, e-marketplace usually owned and run by a third party, or you can say in which many buyers and many sellers meets electronically to trade with each other. In public e-marketplace, the third party exchange open to all interested parties, but they are related to their sellers and buyer. And now third is a supply chain improvement and their collaborative commerce, means they are the related to their hubs. So in this you can see here the generations of our B2B e-commerce. In this first generation, it is in 1995, which is related to their public and promotes. In second generation, 1997, it's related to their online ordering, B2C and B2B. In 2000, they are increasing and they added more e-commerce facilities like e-government, personalized and customization, e-market exchange, or you can say business values. Now in fourth generation, which is related to our 2001, which is a collaborative commerce, or we can say supply chain improvement also related in this fourth generation. Some ECRM, e-learning, mobile commerce, and multiple channels are included in the fourth generation of the B2B e-commerce. And now last is the fifth generation, which is 2002 to beyond onwards. They include their web services, some internet external business process managements, collaborations with suppliers and their buyers, social computing oriented transactions, RFD and others, or we can say intelligent system or expert sales systems, all are related to the fifth generation of the B2B e-commerce. So in this components of our B2B, here we can say supplier, retailers, intermediaries, support services. So here is a company or manufactured retailer or service industry which are related to our intermediaries, which include exchange directories or e-distributors. They are related with their e-procurements or sell sites. Also they correlated with their retailers, or they retailers may related to our company manufacture retailers, and how joint ventures can interact with their other companies or or we can say how retailers related to our support services, and how they collaborate with different companies. So support service includes their logistics, supply chain, payment, security, and how he and here you can see suppliers which contain raw materials components. They are e-procurement process followed by buyer or seller side, and they are collaboration with different companies, and how some support services are related to their suppliers and sub suppliers are related to their suppliers. So here is the component related to our B2B e-commerce. So in the B2B characteristics, parties to the transactions, which include sellers, buyers and intermediates. So first is online intermediary, means in online third party brokers or transactions online between buyers and sellers, may be virtual or click and mortars. So they support basically how type of B2B transactions, how do firms buy, spot buying, or we can say strategic or systematic sourcing. So in spot buying, the purchase of goods and services are needed usually at prevailing market price, wherein strategic or systematic source, it involves long term contracts that usually are based on their private negotiations between sellers and the buyers. So in direct material, they use the production of the product, or in indirect material they support productions, like example like light bulbs, office suppliers. MRO means maintenance, repair and operations. So indirectly material in activities support productions. So in vertical marketplace, it deals with one industry or industrial segments. In horizontal marketplace, that concentrates on service, materials or products that is used in all type of industries. Example may be related to their PCs, office supplies, all are related to our horizontal marketplaces. So here we will cover some other characteristics which is related to our supply chain relationship in B2B, supply industries online B2B, and partner and their supply relationship in management, which includes PRM and SRM. In PRM, it is a business strategy which focus on providing comprehensive quality services to their business partner. In SRM, that is supplier relationship management, it is an approach to manage an enterprise interaction with the organization that supply all goods and services which is uses for the SRM management. So sell side e-marketing means, we can say, here we will cover some benefits and limitations of our B2B in one-to-one sales side e-marketing place. So a web-based marketplace in which one company sells to many business buyers from e-catalogs or frequently over an extranet with the help of B2B sellers and their customer service. So here you can easily understand how sell side configuration intermediaries in B2B. Here you can say manufacturer suppliers which are related to our direct sales. In direct sales, some suppliers, they are related to their product catalog, and the customer order of information is related to their supply electronic store. So they are related with our B2B, in which some business customers are involving with their supplier electronic stores. So here you can see how manufacturer 1 2 3 companies related to their retailers and their market distributor, and we can say these market distributor how directly related with their B2 retailer, B2B how related with retailers. Here you can understand that how distributor also correlated with their business customers, and retailers are also related to our business customer. Now B2C means which is related to our individual customers, which are not, which are related to our retailers or VARs. So here is the seller side configurations intermediaries in B2B. So now in the next one-to-one sales side e-marketing, which includes their customization and self configurations. Here we will cover some comprehensive sales side systems in this one-to-one many, where manufacturers, how selling and distributor and their other intermediates, how they correlated with our B2B e-commerce means manufacturers can sell directly to business, and they do so if the customer are large buyers. Now it is frequently use intermediaries to distribute their products to a large number of small buyers. So the product may be related to many manufacturers and their aggregate. So in 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 all these B2B e-commerce, one catalog from which they sell to customer or to their retailers. So buy side e-marketing place means a cooperative based site that uses reverse actions, negotiations, group purchasing, or any other e-procurement methods, or are related to our one to many e-procurement at buyer side e-marketplaces. So they also influence in traditional procurement management, which includes procurement management, which are based on the planning, organizing, coordinating. So all these activities related to their purchased goods and services, which needs to accomplish the organization mission. Now in maverick buy means unplanned purchase of items needed quickly. So often non pre-negotiations higher prices to be taken. So here you can see how traditional procurement process to be done. Here is the buyer buy related to their suppliers, and how mail check supplied related to their supplier. So here you can say the buyer, let's start from here, preparing request, and the prepare it's moved to their sellers, and sellers acknowledge the receipt, credit, create purchase input order, and they're related to their purchase order print. Or we can say buyer is give the approval process on the financial and procurement policies, and they also related to their creating purchase input orders. So here is the way how buyer can start preparing the orders, and how they follow the process to their buyer to their suppliers. Now here you can come here. Here you can see how buyers which prepare the invoice. A mail is sent to their buyer account and they may check three-way match where PO, invoice and receipt it is sent to their buyers where central buyer receive it, and packing and shipping to be done by the supplier will give the order to pack and ship the purchase order. So here again it creates an acknowledgement, purchase input order. So this is the process. At the end we can say when the mail is generated, it sends a three-way match. So if the receipt is created, they send an main approval with the help of mail and send back to the suppliers. So here is the traditional method of our B2B procurement process. So, in e-procurement means electronic exchange of goods and services organization with the help of internet and their EDI. So, its main goal is first is e-sourcing, e-tendering, e-reverse actioning, e-information, e-marketing site, web-based ERPs and EMRO all are related to the type of e-procurement which is related to their process and their goals of our one-to-many e-procurements from buy-side e-marketing place. So here you can say how e-procurement method to be followed. You can say here purchase at buyer side, purchase at seller side, purchase at an exchange and their others. So at the buyer side it is related to their tendering, reverse actions, internal aggregations, and in seller side seller catalog actions, negotiations, aggregate of catalogs or e-distributor. Now in e-purchase of exchange we include negotiation, bartering, catalog actions, and other are related to our group purchase. So it is the method how e-procurement correlated with their buyer, seller, exchangers and some other buy purchasing groups. So here is the process by which e-procurement can done. First, search a vendor and product, check their quality, select a market mechanisms, compare and negotiate, make a purchase agreement, and this agreement related to our PO, that is purchase order. If all processes are done, we arrange a reverse shipment and make payment. So it is the process in this step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all are the part of our pre-purchase activities, and remaining 3 are called to be the after purchase activities. So it is the process done by e-procurement in the buyer view. So what are the benefits and limitations of our e-procurements? Let's see. First is request on quotes, that is RFQ. It is the invitations to participate in a tendering or you can say binding system. Second is the conducting reverse actions, means e-tendering by the government. Next is the group of reverse actions. So these are all the requests or you can say some limitation, challenge or benefits related to our e-procurements. So let's see here how reverse action process to be done in e-procurement. First step, which is related to our buyers and how buyers related to their contract or purchase department. A bid is prepared and then buyers send bid invitations. So here is the buyer, which buyer A, B, C, they post their enterprise webs which is related to their suppliers, send an email also related to their supplier, or we can say some restricted invitations sent with the help of email or e-posting, all are related to their supplier. So it is the at the end of their buyer. So in first step the all process to be done on the posting bid invitation, and now in second step it is also called to be the evaluation of bids by buyer. Here are the bids, you can say buyers, which are related to their evaluators. They evaluate contract and purchase department, which evaluate rejection or acceptance related to their different suppliers. So these are the two steps processes of the reverse action process in e-procurement. So some internal procurement marketplaces are aggregate catalog of all approved suppliers combined into a single internal electronic catalog. So here are the some desktop purchases which is directly related to our internal marketplaces without the approval of supervisions and without the interventions of a procurement department. So some group purchases are related to the orders from several buyers into volume purchases, so that is better price can be negotiation in. So here are the two type of group purchasing are internal aggregation and external aggregations. So next is the group purchasing process. Here is the small business sign, or we can say sir, which is very related to their specific SME, which is the need of a supplier, or we can say long term telephonic distance services. So they related to their buyer naming, the price they will be pay. Then in fourth step, the aggregators group of all requests by the catalog and price to be checked, and after checking they will aggregate either it is related to a negotiation supplier or a button to their requested price. So and last step, they follow the group purchasing process in where the suppliers pay negotiation commission to the aggregators. So it is the 6 steps to cover the group purchasing processes. So in this other e-procurement methods which is related to their buyer at seller sites, which includes purchasing direct goods or acquisitions via electronic bartering, means bartering exchange is related to their link of parties in a barter. So a company submits its surplus to the exchange and reverse point of credit, which can be used to buy the items that the company needs from other exchange participant. And next is the selecting an appropriate procurement solution, which includes some functional of exchanging and some service provided by the exchangers. So here you can see B2B exchange definition and concept, which is related to our matching buyers or sellers, facilitating transactions and maintaining exchange policies and their infrastructures. So here you can see how community of an exchange flow of and access to information. Here you can say all exchange or market makers and administrators, how they correlated with their government, industries, universities, professional associates, dealer, customer, retailers, which is the part of grouping, and how they related to the manufacturer, contractor, suppliers, sub suppliers related to their suppliers, and how market makers and their administrator related with each other, like IT providers, bank financials, contact providers, IT distributors, how they correlated with their community of an exchange, in which it show how to flow of and access of information. So here are the services of exchange. These are the sellers and these are the buyers, which follow some exchange and its services like firstly it will register, qualified and coordinate. Then catalog management may be created, which further done the process of integration and maintenance. And third, communicating and protocol EDI. Then next is a sourcing, which is related to their coordinators, product configurations, negotiations. Next is the security. Then software, is it related to a groupware or a workflow. Next is the integration with members. Next, action management. Next, news, what will be the news information related to their industry analysis, how to support services related to their finance, payment, insurance, tax, order tracking. And last is the administration, administration which follow the profile and statistics. So these are the exchange and its services basically based on their sellers and their buyers. So in B2B definition and concept, other ownership of B2B exchange is related to their third party independent marketplace, which is the part of CTE, means consortium trading exchange, means the exchange formed and operated by a group of major companies in an industries to provide industry wide transaction services. So that is the CTE, consortium trading exchange. So second and next is the dynamic pricing in B2B exchange. Dynamic pricing means a rapid movement of price over time and possibly across customers as a result of supply and demand matching. So in next we will cover some advantages disadvantages related to our B2B exchange. So here is the some potential gains and risk in B2B, where potential gains are the terms related to their buyers and some terms related to their suppliers. In potential risk, you can see here unknown vendors may related to their reliability, loss of customer, and in for seller, loss of direct CRM, PRM, price war, competitive for value added services. In potential gains, buyers one stop shopping, 24 into 7 services, make one order from several suppliers, access to new suppliers. So these are the part related in and here for seller sells 24 by 7, community participants reduce ordering errors. So these are the some risk and gains related to their buyer and sellers in potential gain and their potential risk. So in this we will follow some portals, means which focus on a single industry or an industry segment related to their vertical portals. So in corporate enterprise portals, the major gateway through which employee, business partner and public can enter a corporate website. So here are the some examples and types of corporate portals related to their portals for suppliers and other partners, customer portals, employee portals, executive and supervisor portals, some mobile portals, so which include their cell phones, PDAs. So these are the type or we can say examples of our cooperative portals. In cooperative portals you can see here accessibility related to their external website or external contents, extensibility related to their new feeds, external services, some security related to their documentation, data wares, organization, knowledge base, some scalability on the base of their collaboration product and internal website. So here you can say corporate portal applications are some publishing, collaboration, integration, knowledge management, business intelligence, search, personalization, accessibility, which include two terms, extensibility, security, scalability. So here I have shown underline the above accessibility and extensibility all are related to the part of external information resources, and scalability and security are related to our internal information resources. So some B2B portal and directories which include their information portals and collaboration portals. In information portals that store data and enable user to navigate and query these data, and collaborator means it is the collaboration of all the parts of their correlatives. So how B2B in web 2.0 and social networking. So let's start. Here we will use some strategies, some activities related to their social networking. So in B2B marketing, some manufacturers and wholesalers along the sell side of their supply chain, which is based on the behavior model of your organization, buyers, or some marketing and advertising processes in B2B should be done in the internal marketing process. Here you can see model of organization buyer behaviors. These are the decision process, or you can say group or individual, which in this individual influence related to their business decision, in interpersonal influence related to the decision process, organization influence, so different influences, different behaviors related to their buyers, marketing e-system, and how they correlated with their decision process. So in this you can see individual influence, how they take decisions, how interpersonal influence, which include authority, status, organization, which is related to their whole organization, market stimuli, which is related to their price, band, design, buyers, what, where, when, how. So these are the some questions which is vary on individual to individual fields, whether related to their individual influence, interpersonal, organization, buyers, electronic marketing. They are related to their individual decision processes. So in internal market we follow some methods like affiliating programs, or we can say some B2B market research, target customers, all are related to their methods. We can say some filtration of affiliation of program, market search, all are related to our internal marketing. So managerial issue related to our B2B are: which B2B should be used for e-procurement, which B2B should be used for online B2B sales, which exchange should be joined, which solution and vendor should be select. So these are the some questions which are related to our management. On the time of selling and buying, some manager issues are related to their some questions. So they raise the questions at the managerial level. And next is the what is the organization impact, what are some ethical issues, how shall we manage the suppliers, which type of social network should we use for private or public, can we use B2C marketing methods, and research in B2B. So these are the some managerial issues during the B2B processes. So students, come to the summary. In these slides we have covered B2B field, some major methods related to our B2B, some characteristics and models of sell sides marketplaces, some intermediaries, characteristics related to their buyer side marketplaces and e-procurements, some reverse actions, and seventh we have covered is the some B2B aggregations and their group purchasing. So students, it is all over about the B2B process. So students, we have covered in the slide, and other we have covered our procurement methods, B2B portals, third party exchange, some B2B in web or social networking, how B2B procure helpful for their other procurement methods, how B2B exchange definitions and their major type of exchange, and finally we have covered in some internal marketing methods and their organization buyers. So we all are covered in our B2B slides. So students, thank you very much for your kind attention.